Before our story begins, we must first take a look into the history of the continent our heroes reside in. On the continent of Emendaria, a nation named Quimberg, with a history of oppression and tyrannical rule, courtesy of the Caldolius royal family, seemed to be a force that no army could overcome. But not all things are set in stone. The narrative shifted when King Nerturus Caldolius, son of Hassanal Caldolius, came into power. Under his ruling, the monarchy would fall. People say the kingdom fell due to the king's abysmal enforcement of power. However, scholars theorize that it was part of Nerturus's plan to manufacture a better nation. They say Nerturus knew that the kingdom would shatter, and that his subjects would rebel the moment they sensed a hint of weakness in the king's authority. And rebelled they did. Once the kingdom collapsed, the land was rich for the taking. Guilds, organizations, and whatever that was left of the original monarchy claimed the ruins as their own. This series of events had become known as the Great Divide. But not all is grim and bleak. Other settlements have arisen in recent times. And one of those cities is the coastal city of Landau. This city that lies on the east coast of Emendaria is rich with a plethora of trade. The taste of the salted sea is enough to make any sailor or pirate feel at home. It is here that we meet our heroes. Ortois, the pirate turtle, Tenchi, the Azamar wizard, Mithra L. Lockhart, the dwarven cleric, Turl, the Azamar druid, and Akagi Mashiro, the samurai warforged. And with that, our adventure begins. Welcome to the Settled East.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to D&D, The Settled East. This is going to be our first episode of The Settled East. I am the Hooded Voice, your DM, and in front of me I have all of the other players that are going to be playing in our campaign. Does everyone mind introducing themselves and their players so the viewers may know who's playing who?
Sup, my name's Malawana, and I'll be playing Mithra S. Lockhart. Nice to meet you.
Alright, next.
I guess I'll go up next. I'm the HP drop, and I play Wardis. Subscribe, or your HP will drop.
Okay, next. We're just going through the list.
I guess I'll go next. Yo,
Okay.
I'm Contrary Bull, and I will be playing Terral.
Alright, Tenchi.
Alright, my name's Tenchi Tux, and I'll be playing Tenchi. I know it's not creative, but there we go. I'm gonna be playing an ASMR wizard, and I hope we don't fucking lose. Alright, let's go.
My God. Tux, you just had to do that, didn't you?
Yeah, what? I'm a wizard, bitch. Alright, let's
The
go.
ASMR part.
Oh,
I hate
ASMR.
that people do that.
I did that on purpose. It's Azmir, I know.
Tyler did it too.
I did it on purpose. Come on.
I hate it when people do that.
Okay.
I did it on purpose.
Okay,
It's Azmir.
okay,
All right. Enough. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
You're gonna be fast forward.
Next, we have Chad. Just going basically say who your character is. You know.
Well, Chad here, and I'm playing Akagi, the Warforged Samurai.
Okay.
Nice.
And so, essentially, the way everything starts off is it starts off with our characters inside of a bar waiting to be greeted by this one character. you all know him as Jewel, and essentially what you think he's trying to do is he's basically ordered, not really ordered, but you guys wanted to do a bit of work from him, and so he wants to try to get all of you together inside of a bar to basically try to get to know each other a little bit before he arrives. And that bar is of course in the city of Landau, and this is currently where we are. The city of Landau, and we are inside this bar right here currently in the middle of the city.
Okay.
All right. So basically, you guys converge into this tavern. The tavern itself is called the Drunken. God damn it! I forgot the name. Shit. We just cut
The
that out.
Winking Skeever.
Skeever. Okay. The name of this bar is the Stumbling Drunkard, and basically, okay, so all of you guys essentially just take a seat, waiting for Jewel essentially, and of course your waiter comes, and your waiter is basically a silver-haired elf. She's a half elf. You basically look at her and she is very graceful. She has flowing silver hair with pale blue eyes. She walks, as I said before, with a sense of grace and urgency, as she would be as a waiter. So she goes to your table and she essentially says, "So, what are you going to be having today? I assume we are all together."
Yes. Okay, I'll like a glass of milk.
Glass of milk. All right. What about you, Portal, I believe the race.
What you cut out?
What would you like?
What? Oh my!
I
I want meat.
You are a hardy fellow. All right. Meat for you. What would you like? The dwarf?
An ale for me, please.
All right. I haven't really seen your kind around here often. Warforged. Well, your people don't really drink, do they?
It is very racist.
Yes,
I would like a pint of oil. For you.
And
The discrimination was too much. He was too much there.
Basically, when you say that, she's basically looking around and realizing, I didn't mean to offend you.
No, I would like a pint of oil.
Oreo.
You look at her face and she looks very confused. Essentially, she just says, "Well, we'll see what we can get for you. Is there anything else anyone wants to drink?" She's looking at the just the whole table. She's very flustered after that little conversation happened.
That'd be it.
Alright. Oh yes, and by the way, I will be your waiter, as I should have said before, but my name is Argonia. And she basically just leaves with a little notepad, goes to the back to try to grab your drinks. Alright. And you have to give me a moment, because for some odd... Okay, never mind, found it. So,
drink water.
inside of this basically bustling tavern with people talking and drinking, and essentially people are just having a good time. The city of Landau is known to basically they just have all, walks of life of people. People come here for new opportunities, and since it is a new and upcoming city that it hasn't just sprouted, but it's very new. It's just making the transition from a large town to essentially a small city. So you have many people here that are essentially trying to sort of make their roots here as basically residents. So, with all these people chattering, the main guest, or as all of you would actually probably know him for, is Jewel. Essentially, after Jewel have left you guys to attempt to communicate with each other, just to have a bit of a chat with each other, if you would like to, just to get to know each other, he would end up showing up a bit later. You have anything you want to say to each other before he shows up?
So, I don't believe we have actually.
I cast Firebolt.
What? Wait, what?
Do that again, I'll hit you with my whip, boy.
I'm gonna shoot a fireball at a random civilian.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
God damn, this cat.
I had to get that out of my system. I had to get that out of my system.
I was about to say, all right, so you would cast Fireball inside of a very lively bar with multiple people having drinks and having a good time. Okay, let's see.
If this wasn't a
campaign.
true campaign and if it was a one shot, absolutely yes. But this is a true campaign, so I can't really do that.
So I don't believe any of us have actually properly introduced ourselves. Considering how we'll be working together for potentially the foreseeable future, I just want to say good evening, and I hope that we can get along swiftly or swimmingly.
Okay.
All right, that's about it. Okay.
And I'll go
Anybody else
next.
want anything to say?
What are you doing? What is
Is
he
that
doing?
Setup going on. All right.
Oh.
So he starts to respond while drinking mead. So he's just like, we'll get along real fine as long as you pull your weight. That is.
Easily, my dear friend.
We'll see.
Alright, so basically, everybody else at the table sees this, and it's it's basically how all of you would expect a group of people to essentially sort of almost meet each other. It's very as many people would maybe say awkward, but
Wait, can
I
I
mean-
say something?
sure. Go ahead.
How's the weather going? Huh?
Can I cast Firebolt at him?
Oh no, no.
Yeah, it's just him.
Everybody's
That
gonna
just
watch me
pissed
burn to
me
death.
off. That just pissed me off.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
You cast Fireball. Roll for damage.
Never say anything.
Okay.
Alright.
So, Jewel walks in. Basically, his giddy self, as you all essentially know him for. Before this, everybody would have known Jewel, and you would know what his character is. But I'll go ahead and, for the sakes of our viewers at home, I'm gonna go ahead and read his character sheet. So, Jewel, he is a 6-foot tall Tabaxi with dark gray fur and violet blue eyes. He's wearing leather adventuring gear with many belts and pouches darting across his torso. He also wields a crossbow on his back, a flintlock pistol on his side, and a rapier. You can also see a blue sapphire ring on his right hand. So essentially, he walks into this tavern and opens the door, and he essentially puts his hand over his eyes, almost in a cartoon fashion of looking for someone. But then as soon as he finds you, he kind of like brightens up and lively up and starts walking towards you. In a very, I wouldn't say cartoonish, but very, he looks very cheerful. He arrives at the table and says, it seems like everyone is here today. How is everyone doing?
Can I
We're
have some
doing
popcorn?
very well.
Alright.
I ignore him and ask the waiter for the waitress for some popcorn.
What?
Are you
Yeah, we get that medieval
you-
popcorn going, goddamn.
She arrives and you ask for popcorn, and she's like, popcorn?
Damn it! I'm just really craving some popcorn right now.
God damn it.
I haven't really heard of that.
Okay, you got any pawpaws?
What? What is that?
It's a type of fruit. Do you not know what pawpaw is?
No.
Do you mean papaya?
Yeah, papaya. That's different.
Oh, it's.
Gonna go on Google search it up.
He's gonna search it. How can he? What? That's a Spanish fruit. It's papaya. My mom
No,
eats it
it's
all the
not.
time. Yes, it is.
Why are you going to Discord? Discord.
Oh my god.
She
All right, let's
spelled
keep
it.
going. Keep going.
Okay, right now,
P-A-
I just,
okay,
I
that's
just
probably
imagine
later.
you just like he arrives, then all of a sudden you guys just burst into a whole conversation that nobody understands. What is it they speak of?
Google. Oh, what this is?
See, it's its own fruit.
That's papaya.
That's a pawpaw.
Spell it.
Pawpaw. It's
Huh.
literally called a pawpaw tree.
Hmm.
Okay, guys, keep going. All right, come on, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, papayas are orange. Pawpaws are green.
Okay.
Let's get this good debate going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
D&D papayas versus papaw.
So, Joel essentially, when he walks up and he actually guys agree each other, he's like, "Alright, since everyone is here, I assume you all I need to explain exactly what it is that I would like for all of you to do. So, I have, I guess you could say, a business partner in it's to the northwest. It's a little town where, okay, let me skip the details. Get straight
Okay.
to the mission itself. Essentially, I need you to work as almost not quite bodyguards, but mercenaries for my friend. He is looking for a few more hands to assist him in his endeavors. The mission that I don't know many details about it. You do have to talk to him, but as of now, the details that I know is that there is a goblin encampment that has been, I guess, terrorizing the local farm life and animals. Essentially, farmers are.
So you
having
want us
trouble.
to wipe out this goblin camp, huh?
Well, again, I don't really have the actual mission itself. You would have to talk to him. However, it is. Perhaps you don't have to quite wipe out the goblin camp. That is up to your discretion. As long as they no longer cause trouble to the farmers and their wildlife. That is all that they've asked for. They haven't paid us to kill anybody.
Are we getting paid at all?
We are getting. Of course, we're getting paid.
Just hit him with the whip.
No, of course you are getting paid. The pay will be distributed per person for this mission. There doesn't have to be violence unless at least if it is needed. The pay per person would be 15 gold pieces.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you got me a little confused here. Is this a raiding mission, or are you wanting us to be bodyguards for somebody?
Essentially, you will be assisting someone in taking care of a problem of a goblin encampment. That
Okay,
has
if
been
you just
taking
want the
wildlife.
goblin encampment done, that's fine. We can do it. I'll do that. But if you're wanting me to babysit a person while we go do this, I want double the reward.
You aren't quite babysitting, as I've said. Everyone that is there is well trained and know how to use a blade and sword. You will not be babysitting anyone. If anything, maybe they will
Look,
be
if I'm
into
having
it.
to look after a bunch of people other than myself, I consider that babysitting. You're gonna have to pay me more if I'm gonna have to take care of other people.
Or you could just quit. I mean, certainly your services aren't necessary for this mission if you do deem yourself more worthy of not taking this type of thing. Of course, we can split the profits among the rest of us, those that are willing to actually, well, take this on. Or
Look, I'm a
are
simple
you
man.
actually in?
Point me to something. You point me to someone you want dead, I'll kill him for you. But I just expect to get paid for what I'm doing. I thought I was getting paid for just an extermination mission. If I'm getting paid to protect other people on top of it, my mission is to protect other people on top of it, I'll need more money to be able to incentivize me to complete my mission.
Considering
As
how
I-
our
As I said before, it isn't quite protection. You are almost coming as extra bodies and reinforcements. It is not like you are going there to essentially protect the child or whatever you believe it is. No, these are trained people you will be working with. Hello?
I'm thinking about what to say. I can't think of what to say.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like thoroughly confused. I'm actually
Yeah.
thoroughly confused.
like,
because
I
at
understand
first
the
you
mission,
said
I just
Yeah,
don't
I
want
did
to step
too.
on anyone's lines.
Me
My bad.
neither.
no. It's just like at first you said he was renting us out to his friend. Like he got us together because his friend needed help with something, and you said something about bodyguarding, and then you said, "Oh wait, there's this goblin camp we need to exterminate." And now it sounds like, "Oh wait, you're just gonna go there and watch everybody else."
Basically,
And now I'm just like thoroughly.
We're just extra soldiers.
yeah, we're on a contract, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Essentially, it's almost as if it's almost like everybody is extras and assisting this
Okay, so I
party.
thought we were protecting a certain businessman while he went to raid the goblin camp.
Oh no.
Okay.
Basically,
Yeah, we're just helping a man with a suitcase trying to raid a goblin camp. You see them goblins with a suitcase, like, oh.
No, we're playing Goblin Slayer, are we?
yeah, you're just gonna go in there and just murder everything. The babies too. But yeah, basically, there is already a party in place. However, they are not confident in the amount of numbers that they have for their actual raiding party, if you would like to call it that.
Okay, so we're just back up for just in case.
Well, they're going to be going in with you from the beginning. You're not going to be quite back up.
So they're just contracting out outside help.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Well, then never mind. My plan to get more money it's just gone now.
It
No
was a
way I could turn
futile
this
effort.
out to extort more money from him.
All right. Is there any further questions about it? About the mission that I am having you assist in?
Nothing about the mission, but rather about the environment.
Hmm.
In this city, is there anywhere we can, me and my fellow compatriots can gather up supplies? Armor, weapons, potions, maybe a few scrolls or something.
Oh, that is very simple. This is in fact the town of opportunity. This, as you know, Landau is separated in different sectors and sections, so you will more than likely be able to find what you are looking for. For example, okay, so essentially he starts going through the layout of the city itself, and he says that there are multiple districts for things like, merchantry, merchants, residential districts, and crafting districts and stuff like that. So he basically, as this map that you see in front of you, if you can see it, is the map of the city itself and the different districts that separate it. That's another thing I need to check. You guys can see this map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Turns out I had this map up here this whole time, and it's like
You might have to stream me the
Oh, I was
screenshots.
looking at Discord the whole time.
I was looking at your reactions the whole time.
Yeah, me too. I was watching both at the same time.
Yeah, I'm on Discord the entire time as well.
That's tough.
Hey, you might have to send me the screenshots of those later so I can put them in the video. Of the layout of the maps.
Okay. So he tells you that. After that, he says, "So you will be leaving to the northeast, towards the city of Shimmerhand. It is on the other side of the mountain range and the untamable wetwood. There is. See, it would be a lot easier to go through that terrain if it wasn't for the wetwood. We can make roads through the mountains. That's fine. We've done that, but the wetwood has the name for a reason. The plants and trees there are very strong, and it is to create roads and paths through that terrain. That is where you would need to, I guess, hire yourself a ranger. Sure, you can go through there yourself, through the actual wetwood, but I would not recommend it. Is there any other questions?
No, we're good, I think. Let me finish drinking my
I need some groceries.
some groceries, okay.
Oh,
We need
man.
groceries.
That would know that in the merchant district.
What are you buying? Some carrots?
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Well, and you might want to, yes, preparing. You might want to travel a little bit, not quite heavy, but have enough supplies to travel. I would say it is a couple days travel northeast.
Oof.
All right, and with that, if nobody else wants to stop him, he essentially gets up and starts walking his way out, making his exit. And
Okay.
after this conversation has gone on, your waiter finally arrives with your drinks. He says,
Wait.
I am very sorry for the wait. It is very busy in here. We are somewhat low on staff. So and she
Wait,
essentially
so the
starts-
drinks are just not coming in?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I'm
did
returning my
this
drink.
skip
it is
early
a-
for
it
no
was-
fucking
it was a-
reason.
I returned my drink.
It was a very busy tavern.
I returned my drink.
So I grabbed the water and poured in this cup just to do this skip for no fucking reason.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, technically, we didn't even get our drinks before he just got the cup and he already started talking.
We can just say that he took that off of somebody else's table.
Okay.
All right, that'll work.
Sucks to be that guy.
It sounds like something he'd do anyway.
You wouldn't do that. You're too scared. Uh-oh, he
She
gave me the
walks up-
serious
He's
face.
chaotic neutral. What you mean?
Oh yeah.
And she walks up to his so essentially the Warforge. I'm very sorry, we don't have any oil for you.
I give it a stink eye.
And
No,
she-
actually, no. Can y'all, let's see if y'all can see this.
Let's see what.
Never mind.
Also, I guess it's just a good time to just start chugging down the mead that he stole in, the mead that he actually fucking bought. Goddamn. Just like,
yeah, go. You guys can, talk to each other if you like. Basically, try to get. Why the hell am I still talking in this accent? You guys can.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
that's a real voice.
Okay. God. Oh yeah. I still needed to actually tell you guys what time of day it is. Yeah, it is in the evening currently.
Oof. We should get some
Going to sleep.
We should get some sleep.
I pass out
Oh.
right on the table.
Yeah, I drink milk until I'm knocked out.
Wait, you mean like evening as in like 12 p.m. or midnight?
Midnight, yeah.
It's not like completely dark, pitch black outside. It's
It's
somewhere
sunset.
around 7. Yeah, sunset. 7 and 6.
Okay.
That's why this inn is pretty much it's so bustling and
Crowded.
It's prime time.
it's prime time. All right. Is
Okay.
there anything that any of your characters would like to do before you would possibly set off in the morning?
Sleep.
Yeah.
Take a look at this map.
I actually want to take a walk into the Magics and Alchemy district.
Same
What
here.
the slave shop?
So essentially, you leave the inn, and with the sun setting, we still see a lot of people actually moving around, and the streets are very active. It's not quite people. You wouldn't expect people to be sleeping yet, but of course, there are some that are calling it in early. So you walk down the road, and you essentially make it into the Magics and Alchemy district, and this district is, without you even having to get a name from anything like that, you immediately see that, like, as soon as you walk in, it is the actual district itself is very separated from each one. Not as a separation as like space or anything. Like some of the Magic district and the Crafted district is right next to each other, but it is an appearance and the things that are there that really catch your eye. Like, you can look to the right and see the merchant districts with people sitting there with stalls, trying to sell common goods. But as soon as you look to the left, you end up seeing things like magical artifacts, scrolls, and all the in between with glowing orbs of light that path through these alleyways. It is basically almost like you just walked into Hogwarts.
Where's Harry Potter?
Magic is brimming. So you walk up to one of these shops. Of course, all of these buildings aren't just shops. People have made them, their own places. This is the Magics and Alchemy district. So you walk up to one of the potion shops, and this one contrasts the rest of them a little bit differently. This one isn't quite as bright, but the actual entrance is actually quite dark, with a couple of mage lights sort of lighting the doorway that you are about to walk into. So you essentially walk in and you open the door, and on the door you see this sign. And this sign essentially tells you the name of this place that you're about to walk in and what it's called. It is called Pharaoh's Magic Heap. That's currently the name of the shop that you're about to walk into. So you walk in and you see this old elf with wispy white hair sitting behind a counter. He has his hand on his desk with a ink and quill writing down onto a scroll. He looks up and says, customer. I don't really have many people come in here. Is there anything that you'd like to? Is there anything you'd like? That's what he says to you.
Good evening, my esteemed gentlemen. I am actually looking to procure either a few potions or scrolls in particular. In particular, a scroll of healing word, or a few healing potions or elixirs.
I should definitely have that. Give me one moment. He essentially he basically gets up and he walks with this cane, and you see that he's definitely got a lot of years on him. Like, he's making it through the shop just fine, but you see that he actually has to put a lot of effort into his walk and his stride. He makes it to a shelf that's basically covered in some bits of dust, and he picks it up. He's like, these should be the scrolls that you may be looking for. The potions are just one moment under my desk. He goes to grab another box that's filled with many potions of different colors. There should be a couple potions that you may be looking for. Healing, of the healing sort, right?
Yes, of course.
Alright. So, essentially, he then tells you that he has somewhere in between two. Actually, no, he actually tells you how many he has. He has 4 lesser healing potions, two base healing potions, and then a healing potion of greater size and strength. Greater healing potion, and he also has 2 scrolls of healing ward left. He says, so essentially, people often buy these products from me. So I guess you can say they are in quite high demand. So the price is gonna be a little bit higher. What price are you looking for? He asks you for, or at least which ones are you looking to grab or buy?
For now, I'll either go for the lesser healing potions and the scrolls of healing word. The other 2 would be out of my pay grade.
He basically says to you, all right, the lesser healing potions are going to be, we can start the ordering, I would have to say at 4 gold pieces per potion.
And how much for the scroll?
The scrolls are each 5 gold pieces per pop.
I'll take 2 scrolls and 1 lesser healing potion.
Okay.
And I'll buy all your stuff.
Okay, yep, you have 1 gold piece left.
Nice. This is how it starts,
Nice.
boys.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, it's been a pleasure doing business with you." He reaches over with his frail hands and goes to shake your hand as in a dealing motion with one of your hands. He says, "Oh, I hope that you don't have to use those too soon."
I pray that I don't. I shake his hand with the gold in my hand.
Probably gonna have to.
I'll be back later. Stay safe, okay?
Will do. All right. Is there anything else that anybody is trying to
Magic shop,
do?
magic shop. Whoop, whoop. You need to get some
Magic shop,
scrolls.
So, what class is your character again?
Cleric.
Need them scrolls, baby.
All right. So
I mean,
you essentially, you're pretty much walking right behind, Maidra, and when you're walking down, you actually ended up entering a different shop. It's a very pale and strong contrast from the shop that Maidra walked in. It's very bright, like it's the sun is setting, but this shop is glowing up like a Christmas tree almost.
So like a Best Buy on the lonely night.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you walk up and you open the door to this place that is very bright and lively. There aren't many. You don't hear any voices inside. You just see many wards of lighting to light the way of any customer. You walk in, and what you see is this halfling female, very short as a halfling would be. That's 4 feet tall. That's standing on a stool with a little almost podium in front of her.
Was she
And
T-posing?
she basically says, hello. Welcome to the Ziza. Welcome to the Ziza Magic Shop. Is there anything that you looking for?
Do you have any potions? Potions. Books on conjuring?
You need some calculus books.
She says, sorry, can you say it again?
Books of conjuring.
She essentially says, a book of conjuring. I actually just had another one of those. This is one of the last ones I have. And she gets down her stool and she kind of has to hop down. Like, you
She
can
just
tell
slips and
that.
falls
basically-
and dies.
She does the.
Like, oh, this is free book now, I guess.
But okay, so she pretty much has to hop down, and you can basically see like the stool that she stepped up onto is like a third of a ways or a third of a ways up her body. So she really has to like heave her way up and down there, as you can see, just to get back on the podium. So she basically gets down and walks into another room, and she just give me one moment, and you it's basically what you hear
so
is you
she's
just
a
hear a
lolly.
clatter of shit falling and just a whole bunch of thumps of her just rummaging through a whole bunch of crap, and she says, there it is. She basically comes out with this book with many scribings on it, and she places it on the podium. Actually, no, she places it on the stool, hops up on the stool, grabs it off the stool again, and puts it on the podium. And she says, here you go, right here. And she says, this is actually a very, I don't have a lot of these, so it's gonna be a little bit pricey. The price of it is 15 gold.
God. I'll take
Sodomizing stick.
I'll take all of it.
Everybody feel lose all their fucking money out there.
Yeah. Take all my money. I just slapped the money on her face, and then I slapped. Wait.
Sodomizing stick.
Shut up
He
and take my
just
money.
tosses it like a baseball.
No, wait.
He said, take my money.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, smack the money in her face. And just
All
bring
right,
out
so
with the book.
essentially you get your gold coin purse, and you kind of take all of the gold pieces out. You didn't even count it. You just dump it into your hand, ball it up, and throw it at her. Roll for damage. No.
Is that your sodomizing
Yeah, roll
stick,
for
Titan?
damage.
No.
What?
Is that your sodomizing stick?
No. It's not a cross stick.
Ah,
All right. And
I
now
was
you
part of the
have
UB
a
lacrosse team,
scroll
so.
of conjuration.
Wait,
Is that
scroll? I thought it was a book.
correct? Not a scroll. I mean,
Okay, alright, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Trying to wake myself up a little bit.
all right. And she says, "I hope you enjoy it, and don't go around causing havoc with it. There's a couple spells in there that might be a bit of trouble for some people."
Alright, can I walk to the bank right after that?
The what?
The bank?
There's no bang.
Whoa.
What you going to the bank for? You don't got no money.
Wait. That's the point. I use the conjuring book and go to the bank and steal money. Just kidding. Go ahead. Let's keep going. Sorry.
So I guess like while everybody's their own thing, Orders will just walk to the shipyard and just linger around
Okay.
until everybody gets prepared.
Yeah, just linger around your yeah.
Mhm.
Can I head to a magic shop as well?
Everybody's heading to magic shop. Oh my goodness. Y'all
We love
you got a lot
magic.
of magic users right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You gotta get used to it then.
I mean, I went the best magic user there is, so
Better
might
yet,
as well.
I have a question. Why didn't you guys just head there together?
I don't know.
Did you?
Don't nobody trust each other. That's why.
'Cause I took a nap.
Yeah, honestly, I thought Angel was coming with me, but then I was all like, shit, wait, he
It's a whole different.
I was taking
Abraham
a
just like he
15
just
minute
brought to a
nap.
whole different shop.
Look, you got this?
This ain't no party, man. This is just
Yeah,
group of strangers.
We're on our own. Yeah, we're just strangers. We don't even talk to
True,
each
we
other.
don't trust each other yet. We're level 1.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
Okay.
Alright, I'm with the
But
story.
you wanted to go to a magic shop or like basically exactly what are you looking for?
Anything for druids.
So things that
I don't really know how this magic shop stuff works, honestly, but might as well go ahead and try.
The underground shop.
Just really anything that sells like magic for druids.
magic for druids. Actually, what's your druid? I'm trying to think of your what type of class of magic that would be.
It's necromancy.
No, that's not necromancy.
Actually, about druids and their spellcasting, it's not like wizards in which they would like have to like save, find another strong spellcaster and or literally just find some sort of scroll or spell book and copy it down into theirs. It'd be more like you just get your powers from, say, nature itself, or the
Okay.
embodiment of nature. So you can just like, it's kind of like cleric, where you just like have your spells, but you have to prepare them specifically. You'll have a
So it's literally
spells known
just
category, yeah.
I get like spells just from leveling up, and that's it. Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
So
Mainly.
we buy some potions.
Can I go to the smithy?
You can go to the crafters district to try to see what you want to find. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for shields and armor.
Okay. So essentially, you walk into the crafters district, and there are many people that are still up and lively. It's like when you make it into the crafting district, like anywhere else in the actual city, you can almost hear the banging and tinging of anvils and stuff like that. Like it's very loud, and when you essentially get closer to the crafters district, it's like this cacophony of just all of this metal work. It just hits you. So it's not quite deafening, but it is. Yeah, it is very loud. But you basically walk through this district, and you see this blacksmith shop, and you can see this little sign that basically says "Steel Thunder," owned by Figrig. Right. So you essentially
These
I
owls.
assume you end up walking into the shop, and the shop itself. The shop is actually very open, as you would know a blacksmith would have to be if he doesn't want to die from fumes. But so you walk up, and just to get the blacksmith's attention, what do you do to get the blacksmith's attention? He's actually working on something right now.
I throw all his equipment that he has out onto the floor. I pick it up and throw it on the ground. No, I'm just kidding. I just clear my throat.
All right, you go. He didn't hear you.
Okay,
He's
then if
banging on a piece of metal.
okay, first. Well, I really should have done first, but what I want to do is.
Sorry.
What's that? Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry, something I noticed.
Okay, so basically, I'll
Oh,
tell
can
you
I
what
look
this is.
around and see if he has anything on display first?
On his what?
On display.
On display. Essentially, what he has on display is he has these, almost armor sets of leather and chainmail that's been created. He's actually you basically all you see on the actual outside that he's actually working on currently. Actually, wait, it's a crafter's dish. Yeah, there's a house right next to where he's. Okay, no, okay. Basically, you don't actually see him working on. You don't actually see a lot of things on display. You would assume that those are inside the actual shop itself. He's now working, on the outside of his shop with a little, anvil and forge on the outside. So it basically tells you what he actually under his sign. It does tell you what he makes, which is as you were looking for, like shields, armors, some weapons and things like that. So there aren't really any actual. I mean, there's hunks of metal out there that you would assume he would use for blacksmithing, but and pieces of wood and things like that. But you don't actually see any finished products. So he continues to essentially form this piece of metal. He picks it up and he throws it into a little bucket of oil, and he looks up and wipes his brow, and then he looks to his right and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was working on something. You are a customer? You're looking for something?"
I'd like to perhaps procure a new shield and some armor.
He's a short and stocky dwarf with fire red hair and a beard, and he has a beard that goes to the length of his lower shoulders. His hair is tied into like a ponytail, and his beard is braided and decorated with steel link loops that are far from shiny. So essentially, it looks like he's just almost jerry-rigged this onto his beard. So he basically says, your budget was 15 gold pieces, if that was correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says, if you're looking for a shield, I can definitely get you. I can get you something. He basically walks into his shop and he basically walks in, opens the door, and allows you to walk in. And this is where you actually do see all of his shields and armors and weapons and things like that on display. And it basically says, this right here is the standard shield that I usually make. It is actually, it's just a simple 10 gold pieces. It isn't all that expensive. I have
Can I see
other
what
shields.
kind of stats are on it?
Yeah, essentially it weighs 6 pounds. You can pick it up and you say it weighs 6 pounds, and it'll give you a +2 to your armor class.
+2. So you said this is your standard shield, right?
Mhm.
Got anything better?
Something a bit better. He basically runs down the lines of shields and grabs his other shield that you can hear him like hefting it up with one arm and grabbing it. He's like, this right here is quite a bit expensive, a little bit past your budget. It is 20 gold pieces. It's 20 gold pieces, and basically it's this shield decorated in steel with different, basically as a shield would be wood and steel, and put into one to make this amazing thing that will protect your life. So, and basically he lets you carry the shield to get a weight of it. The shield itself is 12 pounds. The AC it gives you is actually 3. +3.
Do you do commissions?
Oh, I do indeed. Is there anything that you would want me to make for you?
As again, a shield. I want to try to. How much? So is this your best work right here?
He says, yes, this is actually, some of my best work that I've currently made as of now.
Do you think you would be able to do anything better?
He looks at it and he's like, well, I did make this shield a few years back, so I'm sure I might have a bit of more knowledge in me. Maybe with a few weeks I could end up trying to make another shield for you, but it's gonna cost you.
How much would it cost for the commission?
A commission to make a brand new shield designed specifically for you that has higher quality than the shield that I have made would cost you 35 gold pieces.
Okay. Will I have to pay up front or at the time when I grab the shield?
He basically looks at it. I don't want you to pay up front.
Roll for it.
He basically says, I want you to pay up. Yeah, no. He says,
I have to be willing.
No.
I don't want you to pay up front for this because, as you said before, you don't actually have the gold. What I'm willing to do is I'm willing to let you essentially pay half of it at least for now, and then come back to get your shield with the other half.
Half.
Try to get
And you said it was 30 or 35 gold.
35, so 17 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces. Quick maths.
Well, I only have 15. How about as a down payment, I place 10 gold pieces as a down payment and then pay you the rest after I get the shield?
He basically says, actually, he doesn't say anything. This is going to be the first roll of the game.
Oh yeah.
Dang it.
Yes, we rolling for it, boys.
Okay.
Roll 1d20 plus your persuasion.
It's funny. I'm surprised he didn't get offended.
Oh
when
my
he
God.
asked whether you could do something better.
What happened?
Nat 20.
Oh,
Nat 20 first roll of the game.
Wait, holy shit, did you roll in real life or in roll 20?
Roll in real life.
Goddamn. Hold on, let me get my dice. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, because I do not trust online or digital ones, so I'm rolling
Oh.
myself. I used an app for it, did not turn out well. So
So essentially, you basically ask him for this offer, and he looks at you for a second, and he says, "For some odd reason, you are, I can almost trust you to a certain degree. You are, well, I mean, of course, you haven't tried to steal from me yet, and
just
as far as I can
It just
tell,
gives him a discount because the roll's so good.
no. Okay, he says, I can, I can allow you to make the down payment if you aren't able to. Yeah, just I'll allow you to do the down payment. He basically says he'll end up taking the 10 gold and he'll let you use the shield, and he's be like, but I hope to see this back whenever you get your gold pieces back, enough to pay back what you owe.
So basically, he's letting me do the down payment for the
Yep.
commission, right?
Yeah, he's allowing you to do the down payment to get the shield, but you did have to pay him back later at a later date.
So I just pay the rest when I get the shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, actually, since you rolled a nat 20 on persuasion, he basically insists that he's allowing you to actually get the shield with the 10 gold pieces, but when you come back, you'd have to end up paying him at a later date. He's basically taking.
But he doesn't have the shield yet.
Yeah, he didn't make it yet.
It's a commission for him to make a better shield than the best one he has. Remember?
Oh, he just straight up gave him the other shield. Like you,
Make one of the other
yeah,
shields.
yeah. You can have this, and I'll still make another one for you.
Yeah.
Actually, now I'm thinking about it, you did roll really high.
Yeah.
You got a nat 20.
Yeah. Shoot. Oh yeah, 20.
What he would do is,
How about just make the down payment less, like 5 gold pieces instead of 10, and then just make the shield
no, actually, he'll
for
allow
like
you.
a 20.
Essentially, he says, because I feel like since you rolled so high and you got a nat fucking 20. What he's gonna do is he's gonna allow you to put down the down payment for the shield that he's gonna create, but in the meantime, while he's creating that shield, he's going to give you one of his basic shields. And he says, "Arrive back with my shield, and I will, take that back from you and get you the shield after you pay me." So in the meantime, of him making your shield, he allows you to take one of his basic shields, which is just a
So just the +2 one.
yeah.
Okay. I'll take that.
All right.
But before I take it, I want to make a special request for my commission. Can you make sure it's a heater type shield?
Heater? Can you tell me what a heater type shield is real quick?
It's kind of the ones you see like in all the knights. There's different types of shields.
Sorry, can you say it again?
I'll show you.
He never shows you. So, what was I doing again?
So something like this.
A knight shield.
Yeah, that kind of shield. Not like a rounded shield.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I just want to make it look like that. Yeah.
He says, yeah, I can end up making you a shield that you would, since it's a special request, and the payment is gonna be more than enough as of now. I can do that for you. That's what he says.
Okay.
Could just call it a kite shield.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's called a kite shield too. I forgot about that.
All right, and you essentially get your shield minus 10 gold pieces with a debt that has to be paid when you come back. When he has your shield complete.
Good boy.
While I'm here, may I look at your armor too, as well? What kind of armor you have?
Oh yeah, he basically has an assortment of light, mediums, and a couple heavy armors. The basic leathers, the chainmail, the chain shirts, and all those other things like that. With studded leather armor, and yeah.
What do you have for under 5 gold coins?
Under 5 gold coins. Actually, I might as well ask you. What are you currently wearing right now?
I don't think I'm wearing any armor.
What's your armor class?
He's
Uh,
new.
Yeah, I have armor proficiencies, but I don't. What am I wearing?
He says.
I have no armor and no. Yeah, I have no armor at all right now, but I can wear
Did
medium
you-
and light.
Did you take anything from your starting class and your starting background?
Yeah, you should have some.
Yeah, like you get
armor
proficiencies from some backgrounds and actually some skilled proficiencies from
I have
backgrounds.
I have light and medium armor proficiencies, and then a bunch of what proficiencies. I cannot say proficiencies. Also, I just realized when looking at my armor class, I already had a shield that was already +2 to my armor
Yeah,
class.
that's just regular.
Full will shield.
So I already had a +2 shield. So now I just got 2 shields. Okay.
Rip.
Can I add? I can't. No, I'm not.
Actually, quick question. With the actual shield itself. Okay, so do you have any other armor? You don't have any armor. That's what you said.
I don't have any armor. I already have a shield, but I don't have any armor.
If you wouldn't have come in here looking for another shield like that if you knew you had one.
No, because I want a better shield than I have.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. That's why I was coming to look at the shields and everything. Because I wanted a better shield than I already had.
And I don't.
Yeah, dual wield them shields.
Wait, so did you actually?
So I don't
look
really
at-
need the shield he's giving me.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're the same stats.
If you
so.
if you didn't need,
just
if you
give the
didn't need a
10 shield.
shield, I'm sure you would have asked for armor instead in place for an extra with the down payment. So
No, I still would have asked for a better shield.
no, I'm not talking about the better shield. I'm talking about the shield he actually gave you.
Oh,
not gave
no.
you, allowed
I'm
you
not
to
accept.
use until
I'll just give it back to him because I don't need it.
yeah. Actually, the funny thing is the light armor, the light armor, leather armor costs the exact same amount as a shield, so he would let you get a light armor in place.
So light armor places a shield?
Yeah.
What are the
They
stats
cost
on
the
that
same.
armor?
The stats is armor class of 11, 10 pounds,
So armor class of 11, 10 pounds.
plus your dexterity modifier.
Wait, do I have armor on or no? Because it says I do have an armor bonus of 10 already.
Then
I'm like confused because I shouldn't have armor right now.
Well,
Anybody doesn't have armor, it's me. Because I can't
I'm
wear it.
pretty sure a druid, when you build your character, when you start an item should be leather armor. But even without armor, a character has a base like clothing armor of 10, pretty much. But as a starting character, I'm pretty sure a druid should start with leather, like as just a starting item.
quick question: what's your dexterity modifier?
Oh, I do have leather armor. Shoot. My dexterity modifier is plus
Been
1.
working like 20 minutes.
Well, then fucking, he won't give you anything.
Just,
Do you
just
have
give him a
any
discount. Just give
better
him a discount.
like do you have any you said he had some steel bracers or something, steel armor or something like that?
He has studded leather armor, as well as other chainmail armor, but that's a bit too expensive.
How much for just the
That's heavy.
bracers?
Well, bracers, it's not like you're actually buying individual armor pieces. It's more like armor sets.
So he only sells in sets of armor?
Yeah.
Shoot, okay, never mind then. I can't get anything here. Why am I starting with armor? That sucks.
This is why you look.
What do you think that means?
Okay,
You
at least
made
I got
your own
the
character
commission.
sheet.
At least I got the commission.
What do you think that means? You made your own character sheet.
And gold piece commission.
Because it automatically put it on without me knowing. Since I chose the druid class, it immediately put leather armor on the app, so I didn't know I had it.
Okay, you made the
And I
commission.
made this
and
character
you-
like a week ago, so I
you
don't
make-
completely remember everything.
Okay, you make the commission, and he says that he's gonna get right. He's gonna get working on it as soon as he can. He'll be done with it in somewhere around a week and a couple of extra days.
Okay. Well, I'll head to the
Great.
tavern and go to sleep.
Great. Is there anything else anybody else is doing?
No, I'm good.
Smelling that fresh air.
Nah.
Repeat that,
Alright.
Sage.
So you guys basically resort back to your inn to rest up and get ready for the incoming day. You guys get any equipment that you would think you need with you, and with that, we actually leave the town, which is Landau, and essentially you go to sleep. Wake up, it's very early, bright morning. You can see you can hear the birds chirping. It's a beautiful day outside, ready to go out there and hopefully not die. So, you guys now leave the city of Landau, heading towards your destination, which is to the northeast in the city of Shimmerhand. So essentially, you guys start moving from Landau towards the north, following the road to the north, cross the bridge that's to the to the north of Landau, and you continue your way until essentially you enter this forest. Now, this forest isn't as large as the Untamable Wetwood. Yeah, the Untamable Wetwood is humongous. You can almost through certain peaks and points through the mountain range, you can almost see the vast green of the Untamable Wetwood. But you head through here through the actual forest until you make it to the mountain range, which the mountain range they have actually cut a path through the mountain range, looping through place to place, which would eventually lead you to the edge of the Untamable Wetwood. And before you ended up going into the Wetwood along this path that you have been following, you essentially this has basically been a day of travel to actually make it to the Wetwood. It's been a days of travel. So essentially you guys have rested along the way and have made it here. It is now somewhere around midday currently when you actually do arrive at the border of the Wetwood. At that border, you essentially see a couple of houses basically strung up right at the end of the actual road that basically says, yeah, you basically walk up to it and you see these couple of houses, and on these houses, the name of it is the Ranger's Outlook. Or no, the name of it is the Untamable Wet Rangers. You walk up to this building, and I'd assume that with you guys in a group, this is basically the place that Jewel essentially told you that you might want to visit if you did want to go through the Wetwood, because it is uncharted. So you essentially the doors are open for any visitor that's willing to walk in. Would you guys walk in, or would you just continue to try to trek through Wetwood yourself?
I'm walking.
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 Okay.
We keep treading.
I'll
Wait.
stay outside.
Okay. So you guys basically just walk in there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys basically walk in there, and you see these guys essentially like it's basically a group of people with it's not too many people, but you can see that you essentially can count all the people there. They're all wearing the same uniform with essentially a green cloak stringing down their back with dark leathers underneath. And when you walk in, a guy walks up to you to essentially greet you to walk in. He basically walks up to you and he says, welcome. We are. This is actually. He walks up to you and he says, "Welcome. I'm assuming that you're a group of people would like to navigate the wetwood. There's no other reason for you to really be here."
Yes, this is true.
All right. And then he basically says, "All right, my name is Sumar." He, you can see he is a 6 foot tall, 6'5" tall half orc with gray skin and essentially medium length brown hair that's been stringed back into a ponytail. He's wearing a dark green cloak like the other ones, but his is actually a bit darker than theirs, with black leather armor that has been outfitted with scattered pieces of blackened chainmail. He basically says, "So you guys are attempting to make it through the untamable wetwood, and as you would know, it is very uncharted. That's why we have actually created a, I wouldn't say passage, but more of a union of people that are willing to help you navigate it, of course at a cost. So, per person that would like to go through the wetwood has to essentially pay us 2 gold pieces per person to make it through the wetwood, and we will be letting you will be accompanied by 2 of our rangers to assist you in getting through the wetwood." Of course, we are generous. We would allow that your return trip you wouldn't have to pay any gold pieces. All you'd have to do is write your names down here, and we will know that you would like to come whenever you would like to come back through. We do this for every other
Sounds
visitor that's
fishy to
trying to
me.
Sounds fishy. I'll take my chance.
Can I roll insight on this guy?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. You go ahead and roll insight. What are you trying? You basically just trying to see if he's lying or anything?
Trying to see if he's either overcharging or yeah, basically just that.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. See what you get.
That's a 23.
Ooh, okay. So
Dang, what did you roll?
Natural 17. Proficiency in
So-
wisdom.
when he tells you this price and you're looking deep into his eyes, you don't think you can tell if there's any trickery coming from him. You can see that he's being quite honest about it. You get a sense of honesty that's coming from him, essentially.
Understood. About the payment. Currently, I am. Well,
Wait,
I only
there's
have
5
half the
of us,
cost to
right?
go. Yes, there are.
What'd you say?
Can I just pay for all 5 of us?
He
Yeah.
basically says, yeah, he says, I mean,
Wait,
I'm
I
willing to take
can't.
the
I'm
payment for
outside. I can't do
Looks like
anything.
you had that.
Somebody want to roll for intimidation?
Yo, man, if you want to, I say go for it.
Oh, my charisma's ass.
If y'all get me killed,
It'll be a good death.
Yeah, worth it.
I'm gonna kill y'all first.
Who got good charisma?
I have terrible
Um,
charisma for once.
So, me and my compatriots are currently on a mission for a man back in Landau, and in order to prepare for our trip here, we had to, actually gather the supplies necessary, so we're a little bit short on gold. However, if you could allow us passage through this wood, I can guarantee you on our return trip that we can pay you our necessary dues
Any reimbursement?
and reimbursement.
Thanks, Angel. You're welcome.
Well, here's the thing. He basically says, it is not like we're stopping people from paying. This isn't a hole. Like this isn't a, we're not separating the entrance into the wetwood. We have
I
a
know,
service.
it's just for your service.
Yes.
That's exactly what I mean.
All right. And he says, on your return trip back, you would like to pay us after you've done your mission.
Yes. Because we can't pay you now, essentially. You would guide us woods, we would complete our mission there, grab our gold from our said employer, come back and pay you the amount of gold necessary for your services during this trip, and that'll be the end of it.
Well, we don't.
Go ahead and roll.
I
a
don't think
persuasion
any. I don't think any buyer would actually take that.
Shit, I am so not a face. Okay, let's do this.
check. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Gotcha.
Any self-respecting businessman would never take that.
Gotcha. So that's a 0. Well,
That's
it's a
another-
4, but might as well be a 0.
And he basically says, "Sorry, that's not the business we run here."
Can I just walk in? Can I just walk inside?
Sure thing.
Okay. Okay, what's going on? What's taking so long?
I don't have enough gold to get these men's services to take us. I offered to pay them later, but they weren't having that.
Okay.
Yeah, at least they're not idiots.
At this point, we're
How much does it cost?
Around 2 gold per person.
2 gold. I thought it. Wait, what?
Yeah, it was always 2 gold.
I thought it was 1 gold.
No, what the fuck?
No, it was two.
I heard 1 gold.
Nah, man, you heard.
That's what you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
Okay, so
Can we
I
bargain
can
the
pay
price?
for myself and Lockhart to go, but everybody else would have to pay their own way.
Wait, what about me? I have no gold either.
What happened to your money? What'd you
Forgot,
buy?
I used the conjuring book.
Oh god.
You have to get one of the other, but you'll have to pay me back
Okay.
3
fine.
gold after the mission.
That's fine.
I was talking to Lockhart.
wait.
Oh.
I was talking to Lockhart.
Well, fuck you too then. Chat.
I don't know if you're out of money or not. I only know that Lockhart doesn't have the money, so I'll just.
Wait,
yeah.
can I use an invisible spell to get on the
Oh god.
We're gonna punk these guys already here.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Orange just slams his hand on the table. To hell's with this. I'm paying for all this. This better be worth it. He just fucking tosses the 10 gold pieces.
No, you slap it on his face.
Ah, thank you, Artis.
Thank you. Can I dab on him? Can I dab?
All right, and with that, essentially, sort of almost kites 2 other people that's standing there, essentially waiting for their services to be called. One of the men that walks up, he's an average yet stocky human male. He has a crew cut hairstyle with a scruffy, recently shaved beard that are both colored a very dark shade of brown. His name's Nerald. He says, "I'm going to have Nerald," and he goes through another person. "I'm going to have Nerald and Tolval sort of scout their way and assist you through the Wetwood." And you look at Tolval, and he is a older human male with many strands of white hair streaking through his hair. He wears a dark green hooded cloak with the dark brown leathers underneath, wearing a crossbow and a dagger. He's essentially wearing the same outfit as Narvel. Nerald.
Time to get a shiv in the back.
I'm gonna ignore him. Lockhart, do you accept my deal? I'll pay for your way through. If you,
Already
in
paid
return,
for your-
will pay you.
I believe Ortis already paid our way through.
Oh, he did? I wasn't listening. I guess. Oh,
Now, I
God.
understand that you're a greedy fuck, but realize that we're on a mission together. We'll essentially get paid the same, or maybe even more, if your greediness comes to shine. Wink, wink.
Well, I don't know any of you, and I don't really care for any of y'all. And I'm sorry, I was paying attention. I thought my dad came home, so I did not hear the part where somebody had already paid for everybody else.
I'm paying attention,
No,
but
no. Let the guy rip him off. Take his gold.
Okay.
He's like, all right.
But I think like 3 gold, like I pay. It's like interest, like a thing. I loan you a little money and you just pay a little more back.
yeah, it's like a banking system. But I don't have to do that because I already got paid for it.
Yeah. So I'm not being greedy. I'm just being smart.
They just got pissed off though. Just like fuck this. We
If I was
wasted too
being
much
greedy, I would ask
time.
you for 4 or 5 gold.
But we're in a squad. Why would you do that? We're friends.
No, we're not in a squad. Yeah, we're a solo queue team.
Okay.
This is Rainbow Six Siege, dude. This is quick play. We don't fuck around, dude.
Fuck, I hate quick play.
You mean League of Legends?
Yo, this is League of Legends. Wait.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Oh,
we're
he
still
is
League of
actually
Legends.
really
Rainbow
fast.
Six Siege. No,
This is
one guy's-
Overwatch.
Oh yeah, Overwatch. There you go, Overwatch.
Except one guy's AFK.
Always. There's always that one guy that gets mad. Is that
Oh my
true?
God. Brandon actually hasn't said a thing.
Yeah, because he's muted.
He's muted. Oh, I
have
think
him
he's muted.
I have him muted because
What?
he's not playing.
What?
We're making very shitty
Yeah,
references.
you had
And
yourself
we had
muted
references
this
for
time.
one of those.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, they told me to mute
Yeah,
it.
we had to mute him because he's not playing.
Why? Oh, he's not?
playing. Yeah, he's
I
not
thought he
playing.
was.
No, he's just listening to us.
Ah,
I'm just listening.
Oh.
I'm not part of the game.
I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh,
he can laugh if he
Coronas
wants
that were pissed. I forgot.
to. Okay. Chad's not
It's like
saying
I
much.
I see the people with like cameras on, and I think
Uh-huh.
that they're the ones who are playing. Corona's just so silent. I forget he's not playing. I forget that
I
he's
will
playing.
stab you.
will you stab me well? Or are you gonna stab me once?
Let's see.
Oh, fuck you. Honestly. So, let's keep it going.
Okay.
I'm going back to mute myself. Well, I mean, Tux wanted it.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you guys essentially follow these 2 rangers to help you navigate your way through, and the contrast between the actual mountains and the Wetwood itself is, it's like, judging by the maps, you look at the maps and you think that, oh, that's just an over exaggeration. There's no way that the Wetwood is bordered against the, no, it's like, it's a actual border where it feels like the Wetwood just takes everything over, like where it begins. Like there's no warming up to this part of Wetwood. It's like, it's almost like it's damn near overlapping with the mountains itself. As soon as you walk through this clearing where these houses were, straight towards the Wetwood, you are in it. It is thick too. Essentially, you're going to be walking through this forest in almost difficult terrain, having to chop your way through in order to try to, get through the forest. Of course, this actual journey is gonna take a day in itself, and you would have to end up resting in this place. You hear the Wetwood navigator, Nerold. He's the older human male. He says, I've been navigating these woods for a very long time. If this is the first time for any one of you, this is gonna be this is gonna be a little difficult. But as long as we stay together, stay on our toes, hopefully we should be able to get through here just fine. So, essentially, all of you spend the day tracking through the Wetwood, attempting to make it through to the other side of Shimmerhand. And throughout the whole day, essentially, you see, when you actually showed up here, it was essentially midday with the sun. It was actually high noon right before you walked in. You're making your way through, and it is now starting to become dark. And the Wetwood navigators essentially say, it is far too dangerous to travel at nighttime. We will definitely have to set up camp in order to, it's far too dangerous. And so,
What makes the forest dangerous at night?
well, you see, there are
Wolves?
this.
Furries.
There are Tyrones
He
in there.
basically Nerold says, put yourself in the shoes of a predator or a hunter. You are in a thick brush with many places to hide. Would it not make it easier for it to be nighttime to find your prey?
It would.
If they were nocturnal, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fair point.
And we may not want to move as much in the night. Stay in one place and keep a swivel. All right. And so it is now getting dark, and he's walking you through, and he says, "All right, we are making it to a camp that we have settled up here. This may be a place where we can sort of stop and recuperate a bit. All right. And now we're going to be moving here inside the wetwood itself. In the thick of it.
So let's camp out for the night then.
Yep.
Yeah.
So essentially, you guys are walking through here. It is getting very dark. You can barely actually. Let me go ahead and open this up for you guys.
Oh, no.
Time for the CAPFARSONG song.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add everybody's characters in here that will be following. I have placed everybody's character in here, and we're currently around this little camp that essentially Nerold and the other ranger says
Get
to
some
you
more
guys.
bananas. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Alright, sorry.
They say to you guys, our job is to essentially watch over you and almost bodyguard you and scout the way. So we are not going to be resting tonight. We're going to allow you all to rest. If anyone wants to stay awake to keep an extra eyes out, we would appreciate it. However, it is not needed.
I'll stay up with them. Screw it.
I'll sleep.
Okay.
I don't need sleep.
Oh man. Oh no.
Sounds a lot like real life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and place all the characters that are actually gonna be going to sleep on tents.
Oh yeah.
I know whatchamacallit doesn't need sleep because he's a
Warforged.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you don't need sleep at all, Chad?
Hello?
What
Um,
technically I do, but there's not much. I just need like 2 hours to just recharge my batteries or whatever.
Oh, it's your brother or is your cousin?
Brandon,
What
we're
the
recording.
fuck?
Mute yourself, Brandon.
Oh.
Just kidding, Brandon.
it's
Brandon, you're
pro
good,
stepper.
Brandon. I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Precautions were taken.
So, all right, let me go and get this right. Who's everybody that's actually sleeping?
Me.
Not me.
I'll sleep, I guess.
Yeah, actually,
that's
yeah,
like-
you do have a form that you basically just sit there and kind of
Just
Yeah.
lay there.
Like, I
and
do-
Yeah.
I do
Sentry's
actually,
rest.
like, I do actually need sleep just for like 2 hours compared to everyone else's like 8 hours.
All right. What about you, Mydra?
Yeah, I'll stay awake. Mithra.
Mithra. There you go.
Mydra.
Mitra. Hydra. Hail Hydra.
You know he's cheating on you. Who you cheating on, huh, Big Daddy?
And you're staying awake, Peyton?
Yeah.
Okay. So it is very dark. It's starting to basically get darker and darker, and they go ahead and actually light this fire. Sadly, I don't have a lit campfire asset. We can worry about that. But
CAPFARSONG song.
they light the fire, and essentially after they scout around the area a little bit to make sure it's actually safe, they ended up Neuro actually tries to strike up a bit of a conversation. So what's your guys' reasons for heading through the Woodwood? We didn't really actually talk about it before.
For most of us, well, no, literally all of us, we've been hired as essentially mercenaries in a most likely simple job. Farther up, past the wetlands.
Hmm.
The goal of our objective is essentially unknown, but once we get there, we'll be given our orders.
I understand. There was a point in my life where I used to also be doing, when I also used to do sort of adventures like that, but this is now what I am currently participating in. As
And
of
he does
my
prostitution on the side.
So you're all in a party essentially.
You could say that, yes.
It's a strong word.
And while Neural is essentially talking to you guys, his friend his other friend that's with him is actually also keeping a swivel. He's like he's not quite antsy, but he's basically looking around like I really need to pay attention because I feel it. He basically has that vibe. He looks paranoid. He looks paranoid.
I wonder.
And Neural says, he sees you looking at his friend. Oh, don't mind him. He hasn't been through the wet wood as much as I have. Sure, he may look like he's doing his job more than I, but actually I'm the one that mentored him. All right, so the night goes on. You guys, essentially, sort of take a seat somewhere in the grass or wherever to essentially not actually go to sleep, but at least rest in some form or manner from all the traveling that you've been doing. Now, as it's essentially pitch black, and the only thing that's lighting the actual environment itself is this campfire, I'm gonna need everybody to roll a perception check.
Gotcha.
Way back there. Don't know what I rolled.
All right. Everybody want to go and give me your numbers?
You just roll 20.
Oh yeah. You can go ahead and just tell me your numbers.
I got 19.
19.
Nice.
What about the rest of you guys?
Rolling. 9.
3.
Wait, are we talking about perception? Oh, perception? Shoot.
Yeah, perception.
Shoot, I for some reason I asked persuasion. Perception.
22.
All right.
Persuasion.
23.
23.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a 14. Sorry, 14.
Not 18 plus 5.
I got 14.
Okay.
18.
So
Yeah, plus 5 perception solo.
the night is winding down. Everybody is essentially pretty much stopped the conversation. They're just sitting there on, basically on the grass, just listening to the actual surroundings. And the only two people that hear something or anything is Ortis and who is the other person that rolled above 20?
Peyton.
What? I rolled 23.
But I thought Ortis was asleep.
No.
Oh, who was
Clearly.
asleep?
This is before everybody went to sleep.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, you are the only two guys that's awake, and you spot something a little bit
What's
further
that
from the
noise?
camp. You spot something. A little bit
Yeah, that's what we're saying. What the
What the fuck is that noise?
You mean this?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah, stop that.
Oh, that's me messing with my dice.
Oh, what happened to
Fucking
Solo's-
dice goblin. Oh my.
Solo, what happened to your camera? All dusty.
And what the sound
Oh.
sounds like in
No, that's
game.
just the light coming from
Oh, it's
outside.
just a light. Oh, okay.
I didn't realize my dice were that loud.
Yeah, I was like, I thought somebody was crunching on ice for a second.
All right.
No,
Go ahead.
that'll be.
Through the darkness and the moonlight, essentially slightly casting its way into the forest, but not quite hitting the bottom. In the trees, you see something almost whip past shade of moonlight that catches your attention towards the north. That's what you see in this area.
The hells is that?
All right. Neural says, "What you see?"
Something just. I can't think of the word right now.
Something swift.
And Swift. Yes.
Taylor Swift? Is that
Okay,
what I just
That
said?
question.
word.
Mm-hmm.
Can we take like a 10 a little break here? I need to go do this.
Alright, no problem.
I need to go use the restroom real
I'll
quick.
cut it out.
Sure. All right, everybody
I
ready?
don't smile. Fuck you.
What? Oh shit!
Hey, I can actually see.
Okay, maybe I smile.
Kind of blurry.
I paused this.
I'll smile. Oh man.
See, he's
Just
smiling.
perhaps. Just perhaps.
Alright, go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, continuing.
Okay.
It's
So-
so he doesn't laugh.
Okay, so
Got
word
him.
is okay. So Keelan and Peyton essentially are the only two people that saw something, and he just described what he saw, which was a basically a thinning or flashing, not quite a flash of light, but something blocking the moonlight shining through the trees, just for the little bit that was actually getting through.
It's Tyrone.
Let's say, and so Neural said, "Hold on, wait." Oh, Neural says, "Come on, let's go check it out." With one of his with the other one that's with him, the other ranger. So they essentially go off in this area to start checking it out, see what they can find. And they are cut from view as of this point because the tree line is very dark. Now I gotta roll for them to do something.
I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna ignore it and go sleep.
Alright, so they essentially keep on heading in here. And you guys don't hear anything.
Uh-oh,
you
cutting out.
something.
Oh no, it's me.
It's Tyrone.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Sorry, go ahead.
Sounds like somebody's really getting into it.
Um.
Then you hear Neural, "Get the hell off of him!"
Okay, yeah, go time. I pull out a
NTR?
torch,
Cucking? Is somebody
light it
cheating?
with the fire, and I'm gonna walk towards the direction of the scream.
I like how Sola kept saying everything,
Yeah.
even though I saw his face just like,
Okay.
oh dear, like, that's what I was saying.
So, and essentially that yell has, I would say, it has woken up our two sleeping companions that are in their tent. That's essentially what you heard, which is a man yell. Yeah. And so
I'm having a feeling that it actually is Tyrone now.
you are walking over here, and you have your torch, and right through the glimpse, and basically you can just see this, but you see what's going on. Give me one moment. You see this one. You essentially see the other navigator that was essentially
And the conduct don't want that.
the amateur navigator is essentially encased in this large snake that has curled its way around him and is proceeding to strangle him.
Boar?
Could animal handler work in this situation?
All right. Boop.
Actually, can I try to tame it?
He has taken 3 damage from getting strangled by this snake.
Huh.
This
Can I try to tame it?
Surprised.
Wait,
Gotcha.
who has the highest wisdom?
Me.
What's your wisdom?
This
Plus 4.
This
Oh.
is
Yeah, it's
essentially
you.
a combat scenario, and I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah, let's fucking go, dude.
Okay. Initiative.
So what are we rolling?
Can I try to approach it?
Nah, we're fighting right now. We'll do that later.
What is it? Plus 20 plus the
I got a 16.
That's here, go for initiative.
plus 1.
I got an 18.
Damn it, Solo's gonna attack it before I can try to tame it.
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
I gotta do my job.
got a 7.
Wait, shit, that's not my
I
job.
mean, really, this isn't our job.
Wait, am I lagging? Am I lagging?
Oh
Yep.
yeah, you were lagging a bit.
Oh, all right. What happened?
Okay, so
Yeah, we just rolled for initiative.
I tamed the beast, and we don't have to fight it.
That's never gonna
Fucking
happen.
kidding me?
I'm killing that shit.
I'm just
Uh-huh.
kidding.
I'm getting my refunds.
okay, we've got Tolval, which he's going to attempt to get out of the grasp of this creature, which is the guy that's got held the fuck up. Right? He fails to wiggle his way out of its grip. Norald draws out his bow to attempt to strike the creature with a bow and arrow. He fails. After the shot, he attempts to move closer with his dagger to try to stab the creature. Alright, Solo, your turn's next. What do you do?
Gotcha. I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead on the snake. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, little guy.
Oh, what's the spell?
Toll of the Dead.
Rolls a 14.
Shit, if it meets, it beats.
Okay. So it doesn't take any damage?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I'll move a bit closer to the snake, just 5 more feet.
Okay, so essentially almost behind it right here. Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Sort of behind it.
Wait, that's 10 feet. Yeah, that'll work. Or
Alright, that's your turn, Solo. Peyton, what do you do?
So I'm going before Corona. Hold on.
He rolls to see whether or not he catches Corona from the snake.
You know, I'd like to try to tame it, but at the same time,
Now, mop.
I kind of don't, because I don't want to have to deal with a giant snake following me around everywhere. Let me see where we are in here. Okay. What can I do?
What happened?
Currently
Why
to
do you have
your-
a mop?
to
How
your
many
suit.
actions do we
It's not a mop. It's a broom.
get?
You get one action, including any bonus actions that you may end up getting with your character.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Ray as Frost.
Ray is Frost.
Yep.
Is that like a cone of effect or
no, it's a single target spell.
single
Yeah.
target? All right. Does it have to be any dexterity saving throws or anything like that?
I have to make a ranged spell attack.
Okay. Go ahead and attack.
God, I want to flip on hot dog from Sonic.
That's what I was thinking of this too.
Like I'm thinking about food.
20. Does that hit?
No, I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
about-
that definitely hits.
Okay. That's no modifiers, right? It takes 2 damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay. How much damage again?
2.
2. All right. Is there anything else you want?
Yeah, turn on the camera. I'm done.
Okay. Next, we have Chad.
I'll run at it and take a slice of it.
Slash. Do a what's it called?
All right.
Okay.
You sprint.
Yeah, I sprint right at it.
Yep, that's definitely enough feat where you can make that, no doubt. And you go for a slash. Go ahead and roll to see if you hit it.
21
21.
to hit.
I'll let you know if it hits. What'd you make?
21.
21. Oh yeah, That fucking hits, no doubt.
Then I got 13 damage.
Okay. Okay. Y'all doing pretty good right now. It's pretty good. All right. That's the end of Chad's turn. Tenchi, what do you do?
I throw a monkey at it. No, wait. Okay.
He deep throats banana.
Yeah, I'm gonna deep throat the banana first. Let me conjure a familiar.
You like to conjure familiar?
Yeah.
All right. What's the familiar?
A wolf.
Wolf.
Snow wolf. Mm-hmm.
You summon a snow dog?
Yeah. No. A troll. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. No, just.
Oh god.
He summons
I
Goku.
summon a wolf.
Okay.
And I let that wolf go attack. Am I close enough?
You are. Where's your character? You are right here. Fuck. God damn it! I wish I had these things. Yeah. That's close enough. You can end up. Is there any casting range that you can do that, or is it just like right next to you?
Right next to me.
Okay.
My walking is 30 feet. What?
Ooh, you have a wolf.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And so you'd like it to run over there and attempt to attack it?
Yes, let me roll.
All right.
I got a 4. Damn.
4 to hit.
Yeah, 4 to hit.
Oh, that whiffs.
God damn it. Wolf is useless. Ooh.
Is that with or without modifiers?
Oh, let me check it with the wait, give me a sec.
I don't think his modifiers are good
Yeah,
enough
there's no modifier.
No.
to make up for
For
My
what?
Arcania is 5. Wait, no, it's a taking it to 9.
No,
So it doesn't hit. God damn it.
no, it doesn't hit.
Was it a spell?
Yeah, so.
Don't you use your spell DC for that or modifier?
No, that's your spell DC is like something else entirely.
Yeah.
You'd be more looking
I
towards
mean,
your
your
spell attack bonus.
spell. Yeah, that's what I meant. Spell attack. Yeah, spell attack, not.
All right, is that the end of your turn, Tenchi? You casted a wolf, and it went, and you ordered it to go bite this wolf. So I'd say that's
Then
a
I go
turn.
deep throat a banana, and my turn is ended.
There you go.
Can't fit 500
I
health.
placed my card face down.
All right, now it's the snake's turn. Let's let this snake have a little bit of fun.
Remember, it can only move 20 feet.
Yep. Due to the fact that it is constraining this one guy and is continuing to tighten its grip, it does another 3 damage to him. So that's 6 damage in total. Alright. And that's just passively. Next, as for its turn, it's going to attempt to attack our Warforged friend.
Okay, bring it.
Fucking damn it, it whiffs. What's your AC?
17.
Fuck. It whiffs. You can see it gripping this ranger in its long, thick, girthy body, and then it goes for a strike with its tongue sizzling out, just to try to bite you right on the shoulder. But it just misses you so badly. It goes for it, but you just easily dodge out of the way of it. All right. Next.
So is my turn now.
Actually, no, it's not your turn now.
The
What
fuck?
happens after this? One moment. You guys see this right at the corner of your vision as this snake begins to move its way from the side towards the rest of your party.
Oh shit, we're getting
Another
ganked.
snake?
Let's go, boys.
It's going to use all of its movement to head up towards Keelan. Orders. And that is the end of its turn. And now it's your turn.
So I'm a little bit confused. So like what am I supposed to roll for damage? Like, it's the damage type, which would be like 1d 4, and there'll be plus what?
Essentially, it's gonna be on it's gonna be on your character sheet depending on whatever weapon you're trying to use on the snake or anything you're trying to attack. So, and actually to be able to hit it, you'd have to roll a d20 with.
God damn it, my neighbor's cutting this grass. Fuck.
Okay, so I
So
roll
with
to hit it, and then I
At
roll
7
again.
o'clock at night.
you roll to hit it with plus whatever attack bonus your weapon gives you that you're trying to use.
Okay.
So I think it would be a +5 to hit.
Roll that dice, boy.
All right, let me type this in here.
We need real dice.
We will die now.
No, you won't. You guys won't die. I believe.
No,
you
I'm talking
guys.
about in real
You
life.
do this.
Nah.
Unfortunately, die. Okay, you're.
So I
getting
got an 8.
suffocation from dethrowing yourself. 8.
No, I got a little popcorn stuck in the back of my throat.
8 plus any modifier. Okay, no. Okay, you go in. What weapon are you using?
The whip.
Okay, use your whip to try to bring it back to crack it onto the surface and skin of this snake, but it just glances off one of its scales that protects it. You can choose to do any other movement or anything that you like.
Can I try to attack again?
Actually, you have a multi-attack?
Not yet. No, level 1 should have that.
Yeah.
Well, I just end my turn then.
Okay. Next, we go back up to Tolval. He is currently getting strangled to death. He's going to try again to get out of this snake's grip. Fuck.
Nope.
He fails miserably.
Did you take damage?
Nope, not
Oh.
yet. Neural takes out his dagger and attempts to stab it into the side of this creature to let go of its friend. And that is actually a hit. Wow, good job, man. I'm proud of you. Okay, that's 6 points of damage towards this snake.
Better than my war.
Alright, that's the end of Neural's damage. That's the end of Neural's turn. Now it's Solo's right back.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try to cast Toll to get it dead again on this snake. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
You rolled a 9.
It fails. I'll roll for damage.
Alright.
Quick question: did this snake lose any HP?
Oh yes, this snake has been the only one that's getting whacked on.
Nice. Take 12 damage.
12 damage.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. 12 damage. When you actually attack the snake, you can see that it is really battered and beat up. Like it is not having a good time. You use Tour of the Dead and you see its scales begin to darken and almost shrivel off and fall off of its body as it seems that it's just aging or something like that. Sort of like rot. Alright. Next turn, Peyton.
How close is the first snake to death?
It is very close. It seems like if somebody were to just give it one more shiv or something like that, you don't think it would make it.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Firebolt on the second snake.
All right, the one near the camp.
Yeah,
Does it have to do a saving throw, or are you rolling to hit it?
I'm rolling rolling to hit.
Okay.
Does a 10 hit?
No, it does not.
Damn.
You cast this fireball into the darkness towards the dim lighted camp, where this fireball just whizzes by this snake as it's slithering on your tortoise friend.
Okay, so which one of these am I on here?
You are. Let me zoom in. This is you right here.
Okay, I'm gonna move up 2 and over 1.
All right.
The other way.
Okay. All right. With that, okay. It's your turn next, Chad.
Okay, I'll finish off the one I'm fighting then.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit.
15 to hit.
Yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage real quick.
11 damage.
Yep. Oh, okay, so you bring down your weapon onto this. You bring your longsword down onto the snake, and with one final slash of it just cleaving through all of its muscle and tissue, you see it fall limply to the ground, spasming back and forth, letting go of its ranger victim. And you hear Tova say, "Thank you." All right.
Mm.
And that snake is now dead.
Mm.
More monsters.
Then I'll use the rest of my turn to just move 30 feet this way. Like right here.
Okay. So you trample your way past the actual, basically just moving the tent out of the way.
Sure. Crushing it, moving it well.
All right, Tenshi, your turn.
Okay, I used the book again. To attack. Wait, is the first one still alive, right?
No, it's
Oh, it's dead. Alright, go for the second one.
All right, let's see. Go ahead and check for movement. You trying to just make it all the way to it? Actually, that'll make it.
Yeah, amazing. I was about to say, I thought it was close enough.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit.
Roll the hit. Oh, who left? Is that Peyton?
Might have been Brandon.
No, Brandon's here. It's Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton left. Here.
11 plus 5, so it's 16.
Yep, it hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Alright. Wait, what's the die? So it's 8 plus... not 1, so it's 9.
9 damage. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of. Is that the end of your turn?
And get me away from the snake. Just kidding. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I should be fine. Psh, I won't get poisoned, am I right?
All right. Now it's a snake's turn, and this snake essentially
Okay,
gets
I'm back.
bit by this wolf, and it turns around and it goes for a bite at your wolf that attempted
Yeah,
to
no,
just,
we hear you.
to basically just rip
Okay, my
off
computer
the scales
crashed
on
and I
it.
had to restart it.
Alright, keep going, sorry.
Okay. Oh wait, are you still in, Peyton?
Yeah. He's in.
Yeah, my computer crashed. I had to restart it real quick.
Gotcha. All right. What's your? Let's see. Does a 18 hit
On me?
your wolf?
Yeah.
All right. Finally, one of these motherfuckers actually gets to roll for
Yeah, but it's not a
damage.
character that can stay here forever. Yes.
All right. Let's see. It gets to roll its bite attack, which is. Does your animal have any resistance to poison?
Its resistance is...
against a wolf, it probably does it.
Yeah, probably. Wait, let me look. Just make sure.
I'm mainly talking about it just because it's like a construct, you know.
Yeah, give me a second. Wolf. No.
Nope.
No, there's no resistance.
Okay. Whew. Have your wolf roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, give me a sec. Just open something. Constitution. 12 sided die plus 1.
Also, you
So it's. Let me see. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
It's an 8 plus 1, so it's a 9.
13. Oh, it gets a 9?
Yeah.
Okay, so this snake comes down and bites your wolf very fiercely right on its back, injecting its venom into your construct. It takes 8 points of damage from the bite, then an extra 13 damage of poison. Is your dog alive?
How much damage did it take?
How much did it take?
That's a lot of damage, dude.
How much?
Yeah.
How much damage did it take?
13 plus 8.
No, that thing's gone.
Yeah, that thing's dead.
Yo, if any of us get hit by that, we're done though.
No, that wolf is gone.
Alright. It comes down and bites your wolf and injects it with deadly venom, killing it completely and having it come back to you as a wisp of energy. Delete.
Deleted. You got game ended.
Just gets deleted. Alright. Lord N, your turn next. What do you do?
Alright, he's or switch to he's gonna switch to his grab and try to attack the stick. Okay.
Go ahead and roll the hit. This just got a whole lot more serious after you see what happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wolf is dead. We're gonna go eat breakfast.
He rolls a 12.
Oh.
Are there any pluses
Oh, we just like.
to hit?
It's 8 plus 4.
He whiffs.
He
God
missed?
damn it. Yeah, he missed.
Fuck.
Alright, back up to the round for Toval. He's okay. Toval that was getting incapacitated.
I didn't say my turn was done.
Oh, true. Next.
But he is done though.
Got him. Easy.
I got him.
Alright. Tovo is going to sprint his way down here 30 feet to attempt to shoot this thing with a bow and arrow. With his bow and arrow. Ooh. Shoot, 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 hit, please.
What?
This is getting very disappointing.
Why?
There we go. Nat 20.
He actually wants us to die.
I just want to roll good, okay?
Yo, I feel that. I killed my party once. Okay, twice.
What?
Okay, maybe 3 times, but fuck it.
Okay, 1d8 plus 2. Boop. The snake takes 5 points of damage.
Aw,
Actually,
yeah.
since it was a critical success, take more. It wasn't a lot more. Yeah, just 8 fucking points of damage.
My dad isn't dating his girlfriend tonight. That sucks.
What?
I thought my dad was staying at his girlfriend's tonight, but now he wants to order pizza and he's on his way home and he's wanting me to pick it up.
Shit, damn, son. What's a good pizza?
This guy. Alright. Neural is going to sprint his way down here. And he's going to end his turn off there because he just used all his movement to get there. Now it's back to Solo's turn.
Gotcha. I'll move down like 25 feet, and I'll cast Toll the Dead again. Make a Wisdom saving throw.
Here we go. Boom. 5.
It doesn't succeed. Time to roll for damage. That's some pretty good damage.
How much
Take
damage?
11 damage.
Ow. This is saddening. All this fucking
Very
damage.
saddening.
The only thing that died was a wolf.
Doesn't even
Construct of a
report it.
wolf,
I
actually.
know, man.
Didn't take damage.
We perfectly in this.
Okay, so as the same thing with the other snake, you see its scales and its skin begin to wither up and turn a darkish gray color from your spell. Next, Peyton.
Is that first one still alive? Nope, it's dead.
Is dead.
Okay. I'm gonna roll Firebolt.
All right.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah, it hits.
Okay, where's my D10? My god. Take 1 damage. Out of 10, I got a 1.
That's fucking legit.
My god.
Your fire blows past it, slightly scraping across the side of its scales, singeing one part of its flesh. That's it. Okay. All right. Actually, you can still do something else on your turn if you like.
Can you move me back to where I wanted to be?
Which was
Right there, yeah. Yeah, that's where I meant to move last time.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Tenchi,
Yes.
you're nope. Chad, your turn next, Chad.
I slap it.
You slap it.
Let's see.
Somehow one facet.
14 to hit.
14. That is a whiff.
Okay.
Yes, it lives
Damn it.
a little bit longer. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Nah.
Nope. All right, Genji, you're next.
Yes. Conjure up another wolf.
You drop another wolf.
Yeah.
You drop another deuce.
Yeah.
All right, here we go again.
You
Drop another wolf.
Did I succeed? Let me check.
And now is your turn. What do you want the wolf to do?
Do the same thing as the other wolf. Bite the shit out of it.
Great. Wolf
Here we
uses
go.
movement. All right, go ahead and roll to attempt to bite the shit out of it.
Alright, what's that roll? D20, right? Let's
Yep.
see. Wait, let me read. Okay. 15 plus.
Yep, that hits.
It hits on
All right, how much damage?
Maybe roll it. 12, sweet. 12 plus 1, so that's 13.
12 points of damage,
Yeah, plus 1.
and that is just enough to actually
Get rid of
take
it.
this snake out.
Yeah.
Oh, you see your wolf. You conjure this wolf up next to you, and you see it sprint its way towards the snake, and it does this fantastical leap onto the back of the snake. Snake.
It does,
as
Twilight
it
Princess wolf thing?
tear its way through its
Snake.
scales back.
Snake!
And with that, the snake falls limply under the dog that stands above it, wagging its tail in bliss. For fuck's sake.
You know what to get. Sweet.
Delete.
Yes.
They're all dead.
DM's
Yay.
sad.
End of the
DM.
combat encounter.
How much XP
And with-
did we get?
Actually, good question. I got it right here. Each person got 100 XP.
Ooh.
Actually, 200.
Ooh.
200. I hear some of my banging stuff.
Oh, what is that?
And with
What's
the
going on?
murder, and death of those 2 snakes that I wish did more damage, we're going to call this the end of the session.
Nice.
I think it's
Alright.
good that it didn't do any.
Alright,
Oh, we're
so-
done with the session?
Yeah,
Yep.
we have to, 'cause since
And so, after an exciting encounter with venomous snakes in the untamable wetwood, our players will continue on their path to the town of Shimmerhand to begin their first mission. Hopefully, no more conflict falls upon our trepid adventurers. But we all know adventures aren't always as straightforward as they seem. Our adventure fates will be determined in the next part of the Settled East.